Everybody, welcome back to H4G. I'm Tony.
I'm Corey, as known as Snesei.
Now, you may remember Corey from when he brought over an SNES kiosk, which was awesome.
Yep.
Definitely check that video out if you have not. Little plug there.
Yep.
But today, you brought over something that's arguably 10 times more awesome. You want to tell us a little bit about it?
All right, so I brought over Captain Novolin. It's a game made by Novo Nordisk. Teaches kids about diabetes.
Yeah, it's a Super Nintendo game where the protagonist has type 1 diabetes, and it basically is just an ad, like it's a commercial for Novolin brand insulin.
Yep.
Which is weird because normally you have like movie tie-ins or like snack food or like Spot from like 7-Up or, you know, the Noid from Domino's or whatever, but instead we have insulin.
Yep.
So we're in for a real treat.
Yeah.
Cheers. But not a sugary treat, because that'd kill a bitch. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying though? Because of the diabetes. Yeah. It's not a laughing matter. Why are you laughing, dude?
Kill a bitch.
Have some. Be sensitive, okay?
Captain Novolin is bad side-scroller?
Yeah, it's a platformer.
Platformer, and without any platforms.
Yeah.
Just
technically it's a platformer.
Jumping over enemies.
Yeah, and dive kicking them.
Oh, and making sure that you pick up some, I guess you could call them power-ups, but they don't really do anything. It's just food items, but not too much. It'll screw up your blood sugar. And, you know, then Captain Novolin will go into diabetic shock at the end of the level, which is also kind of satisfying. Well, normally you'd have a character who, like, learns to use their weakness as a power. Like, Daredevil loses his eyesight, but learns to train his body to overcome these things, and it's like a tale of empowerment. And instead we just have a guy who does flip jumps onto gigantic dog cookies?
Well, I mean, he is saving the doctor.
Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
You're saving the doctor? I just know that we had to go to a mountain.
To save the doctor.
Oh, okay.
And the doctor only has 48 hours of insulin left.
So the doctor is also diabetic. Yeah. So he's just helping out a fellow diabetic.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's just a nice guy.
I think the premise is you have 48 hours. That's all the insulin everyone on the earth has, and you have to release the doctor so he can release more insulin into everyone.
This sounds like such a great setup to a joke. Oh man. This game, there's so many weird parts of it. Like, you didn't go into stores to buy this game. You were prescribed this game.
Yes.
Your doctor would prescribe it to you and give you a code based on your insulin regimen to determine the infotainment segments of it. Like, trying to show you, like, that's right, Captain Novolin, make sure to take this amount, and just everybody keeps talking to him like that. Like, Captain Novolin, if you're going to get into that boat, make sure to put on some sturdy shoes. And just everyone seems to treat him like he just got diagnosed the day before.
Right.
But his power is diabetes, so he should be aware of it.
Yeah. He should have, like, an encyclopedic knowledge of diabetes. Yeah. And that should be his power. His hyper-awareness of his own diabetes.
By the way, I said Novolin. You're saying Novolin. Do you know which one's right?
Novolin.
Is it Novolin?
Yeah.
Oh, I keep saying Novolin. So, playing this, it suddenly popped into my mind an episode of The Simpsons where the comic book guy gets basically duped into buying a whole bunch of comic books from, I think it was like Lens Crafters or something like that, and it's just Biclops, a superhero who has to wear glasses. And only Milhouse buys it, but Biclops and Captain Novolin look almost identical, And they're both kind of like a corporation trying to, you know, make a new media product to like reach kids, but I at least Biclops had some powers.
It's true.
I think he had like super strength or something like that.
Captain Novolin has dive kick.
Oh yeah, that's right. He has that dive kick that sometimes doesn't work.
Yeah.
Oh, and he can do a flip.
The backwards like jump is really good too.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, he also has a superhuman jawline.
That is true.
Yeah, which
It's like Jay Leno.
He has like an enormous Jay Leno like maw, but he can only eat very small pieces of food because he has to maintain his blood sugar.
Glass of milk.
Yeah, glass of milk.
I like how all the characters in this look like hyper realistic, except for him, he's a caricature. But all the doctors look normal. I mean, normal-ish. They look weird. You know, they're sort of white Oprah.
Yeah.
And then
they look really good for SNES.
Yeah, there's white Oprah with pitch black eyes and black Ethan Klein.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got the fupa. So, usually in a game, when your character does an attack, there's some sort of animation, some cue. Hey, this is your attack. Like your character will punch. And then you get from that about how far the attack should realistically go. But Captain Novolin's attack is like he jumps in the air, and then you press down, and he just drops quicker, slightly quicker.
Mm-hmm.
That's his attack.
The hitboxes are so off in this game. Like,
yeah.
The box of cereal just spits out these like fragments of cereal, and it'll hit you because like it's like off the box, but it'll still hit you, and I don't get what's going on there.
You see it like come toward. Yeah, there he is, right there. Perfect timing. You see him coming at you, and you think like, oh, I have time to jump over this, but he actually comes out like another 6-7 pixels than you think he really should. So you keep getting hit.
Yeah.
And okay, is that guy ice cream, a taco, or broccoli?
I have no clue. He's not broccoli because broccoli's good. So he's got to be ice cream.
Unless you have too much broccoli.
That's true.
Bad. That's the trick with diabetes. Moderation.
Of broccoli, specifically.
Yeah.
They're aliens who have poorly camouflaged themselves as sugary snacks. Like sugary breakfast cereals and Twizzlers and donuts and all these different things. But they're far too large. They have faces on them and they move. So, like, if I saw a 4-foot-tall Snickers bar that ran at me as fast as Sonic does, I would not stop and think, now I know I have diabetes, but that looks tasty. It may have a face, and it may be sentient, but I'm a bit peckish. You know.
If I saw a candy bar running at me full speed, I would not want to eat it.
I'd be worried it was going to try and eat me.
Hyperglycemia.
Oh, which is when you have too much sugar.
Hypoglycemia.
When you don't have enough sugar in your blood.
And that's as far as I got in the game.
Yeah, there's also, it keeps asking you, like, well, is your blood sugar high or low? And it has, like, a little test strip. You're like, but if you try and select the wrong one, it just doesn't do anything. You have to select the right one. Mm-hmm. And then when you're like drawing the insulin, you just press down and that's it. It stops you at the correct spot. It doesn't go like, whoa, that's too much. Whoa, that's not enough. There you go. It just goes like, yeah, all right, good.
There was like an opportunity to do like a puzzle element there.
There was a chance to have a break from one bad gameplay type to try just a different one, and they just didn't.
Yeah, I feel like they didn't have the money to.
I think it's because Novo Nordisk was like, we want this game made, we want it cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, credit to them, they did try something new. Because of this, there were some other ones that came out from the same company with wondrous names like Rex Ronan, Experimental Surgeon, Packy and Marlin, and Bronchi the Bronchiosaurus, which all have cover art that makes me want them desperately, and I'm certain they're all just trash.
Yeah.
And the cover art of this game is trash.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
It's so bad that it's good. So let's talk a little bit about the graphics and presentation as well. It's very bright. It's vibrant. The art design is ass. But keep in mind, like, the bar here is like as low can be. Graphically, I like the fact that there is some nuance to, like, you know, there's some scrolling. There's a couple layers of background scroll, which, you know, considering the low bar of this game, they could have easily just not done that. Right. They could have just easily had a static background like an NES game or whatever. So I do appreciate that they did do that.
They did try.
Yeah, like the enemies are quirky and weird. Yeah. We did mention, obviously, like they're just almost too insane for the story. Yeah. But I do like the fact that it is a vibrant game.
I like the fact that the donuts have huge biceps and they're just coming at you.
Yeah. Do you like my mom arms?
It kind of reminds me of those photoshops of birds with arms.
Oh, yeah.
They'll put like the huge jacked arms on birds.
Oh my god. And as far as the music goes, I mean, until you leave that first area, like the city area, it's just the same thing. Yeah. Like it's like kind of the short loop. It's super repetitive. It's
There's something going on with like the title music, because like the pitch bends in that are so ridiculous. Like, I don't know, man.
This is actually like a very famous composer.
Yeah, he did the Mortal Kombat soundtrack.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat 1.
Yeah.
He worked on Mortal Kombat 1. He did the music for it. Like, what the hell?
It's definitely an improvement for this game.
Yeah, so it's like, how? I mean, I guess they were probably just like, hey, you know, we're working on a low budget. It's for the kids. And he's like, okay, fine, whatever. I'll give you 2 days of work or something like that. But it's just weird.
Definitely a budget title.
Yeah.
Hey,
no.
Alright, so the health system in this game is kind of weird. There's different faces that come up. You got 4 faces. Each one cuts into a quarter. And if you lose all 4, that's pretty much end your life. You know what I mean?
It's kind of weird in that when I first saw them, because they're up in the corner, I thought, oh, those are your like extra lives. But then you see a corner of it go away, and you're like, oh, so they're more like hearts.
Yeah.
Why aren't they hearts?
And also, you gotta check your, like, you gotta make sure you don't eat too much of one thing. Like, they'll stack on top of each other, and you have to make sure you don't overeat, because your blood glucose will be too much or too low. So
it's teaching kids, like, you know,
you gotta eat just right.
Have a little bit of milk. Don't have the whole gallon. That's bad. The aliens that have disguised themselves as giant candy bars will kill you.
So that was Captain Novolin. What are your overall kind of final summary thoughts about this title?
Okay, so I like that it's a platformer, because I like platformers. I like how short it is. They because it's so bad, but it makes it good to play through. A game's been quick. They beat it in 7.5 minutes, so...
Yeah, you know, honestly, I had not heard about this game until you brought it up. You messaged me and you're like, hey, I have Captain Novolin. I'm like, what? You know, what is that? The novelty of this game skyrockets my interest in it. I think that it's a total gem for what it was, but it is a bad game. It's a terrible game, but it's a total collector's piece because it's so ridiculous. It's super silly. But that said, I want you to talk a little bit about what you do on Twitch for our H4Games viewers before we go.
Okay. So basically, every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time Zone, I do a Twitch stream on Detroit Arcade Club. And I've been doing Nintendo Power covers, starting from 1, going all the way to 285. And I expect to end in like 2022. So
That's
yeah,
awesome. So you take the primary game that's on the cover
Right.
of Nintendo Power, and then that's what you play.
Yeah.
And then there's also like a guide in the Nintendo Power itself.
and I just use that to play the
Yeah,
game.
exactly. So we're gonna put that information in addition to links in the description below. If you're interested, definitely check it out. It is definitely a good show. I've seen it myself, and it's just cool because it's like a nice little history piece. You know,
yeah.
It's like this game, then this game, then this game. And you're just kind of going through the gamut, and it's just good stuff. So that said, thank you guys for watching. Feel free to subscribe, hit that notification button, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.
Thank you again for watching. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a like and a share, and we will see you guys next time.